for me. Right. Anything? Yes. Okay. Access restricted. There must be another way then. Jump up there and get that? Drone in here. And got it. So much ammo. A little insane. I think it's a little too much ammo. Can't even use it fast enough when I use one weapon. Keep accumulated in my other ones.
What do you suppose the purpose of all this was?
Oh, pretty cool. Medium armor, though. There's a little bit of room. You guys leveled up. This is your medical skill while she's in your party. Here's their base armor. Oh, I'm not done. Vicar. And the range damage. I'm gonna do both. Go with the melee one. What's this way? That's the chamber, huh? That's the cool looking place here. Try this gun. Not very powerful, but
Incoming here.
no, kind of that.
Power supplied.
Observation logs. Compliance testing. Phase 1. Subjects S31A through K were given forms, written implements, and instructions to fill them out. Corporate standards. Upon completion, forms were placed in an employer-sanctioned shredding device by a technician. Tests were then repeated. Kendall objected to further testing after completion of a second set of forms. After 5th volunteers, after 10th, no further subjects, remaining volunteers. Hobbs was discovered to be functionally illiterate and tagged for early advancement in the second phase of compliance testing. Alright. They were given visual demonstrations of multiple physical exercises. No, thank you, testing assistant Layman. And then instructions were to replicate them in accordance with the verbal instructions. Okay, subject complained of physical exhaustion after 5 minutes, missing numerous verbal cues, failed out around the 15-minute mark. Test was terminated after 30 minutes as a technician became too hoarse to provide instruction. Phase 3. Followed a closed circuit around the perimeter of test chamber for the duration of the test. The random intervals technician was to provide vocal cue for reverse course. Of the 8 test subjects remaining, 6 responded to vocal cues. Subject became aggressive and was removed. Subject B collapsed 30 minutes into the experiment and was removed. Remaining subjects exhibited compliance with all the vocal cues for the remainder of the experiment. Technician's addendum, observational data compromised due to equipment failure. Technician S was found incapable of continuing operation due to inconsistent weeping and was withdrawn and flagged for disciplinary measure. Subjects were isolated and instructed to select one member from their experimental group for immediate removal from the volunteer program. Volunteer subject 63F, B unresponsive during the testing, C deliberate 5 minutes and 36 seconds before volunteering 63E. D was unable to recall the names and or identification numbers of her fellows, but had volunteered each of them, turning, citing immediately need additional compound injections. Volunteer E, volunteer subject 63E. Subject F refuses to comply with instructions during the testing session. G exhibits an extreme confusion and extreme emotional distress, demands morning and injection. Technician's addendum. Time as a previous note of 1400. Subject extreme aggression. Subject terminated. 5. Subjects instructed to fire at shrouded target. One industry standard fashion modeling assistive device, mannequin. Subject is not informed of the nature of the target. Subject has fired at a target. Auditory reward initiated. Subject fired observation window. Automatic security enabled. Subject has fired at subject. Automatic security enabled. Fired at another fired at subject. Automated security enabled. is fired at target. Rewarded. Subject refuses to fire. Subject refuses to fire. Subject refuses to fire. Technician addendum. Subject responsive. Messages. In light of certain recent incidents, I'd like to remind you that the paramount that we follow the Spacer's Choice guidelines regarding the safety and security. Yes, you will suffer professional and financial consequences if you are found to be responsible for damaging any company property. We here at HIA, inattentiveness and recklessness also endangers highly limited company resources and threaten our overall production schedule. Think about what we're all here to achieve, and then consider whether you want to be the one that lets us down. Luckily, any and all injuries suffered from the volunteers this past week have been minor. All testing will proceed as scheduled. Reminder that all personnel are advised to report to infirmary if they experience any symptoms listed in the notice LeBlanc provided earlier this month. It is strongly suggested that you check your allotted break to do this, as any loss of productivity will be reflected on your paycheck and your indentureship agreement. So horrible. Hey, you and Andre talk about tossball sometimes, right? Have you ever noticed anything different about him lately? Pretty sure he's been at his desk all night. I was going to congratulate him on his newfound productivity, but I look at him and his reports, and now some of them have basic formatting errors. Not like him at all. Maybe you could ask him about it. If something's wrong with his terminal, he should probably get it taken care of sooner rather than later. We're going to meet with OCI figures this month. We'll need to double our testing capacity over the next few weeks. To that end, I need everyone in observation to work with disposal and have preparation in between tests. Have the volunteers exit at a jog if you have to. Just try not to let them see the bodies. Alright, look, Embry lost his head because he couldn't keep up with the work. He's never going to amount to anything, and we all knew it. The surprise is that he lasted this long. I don't know why my reports are any of your business to begin with, but I know how to use a damn computer. But Weaver put you up to this. I've been working twice as hard as anyone else in the office this past month, and now she thinks I'm going to outpace her. Maybe it's simpler than that. These emails are just to be a nuisance. Now I'm starting to think maybe you're loyalty to some other corporation. Okay. Test chamber 3. Path of dead bodies.
Why do I get the feeling we haven't seen the worst of this place?
Mentioned dead bodies earlier. Slide down that. Whee!
Discovery is worse than the last. Human depravity knows no bounds, does it?
I'm washing my memory out with a bottle of Spectrum Red once we're back on the ship.
Let's see anything here. Oh. Not good. Making some weird noise. Messages. Incoming. I don't want to play anymore. Let's just do our jobs, okay? Thank you for using... Oh, never mind. Going... Alright, my 10 bits are on 52F. I know what you're thinking. He's so skinny that he's got be bad odds. But I'm a gambling man, Victoria, and I've got an eye for this now. What do you think? Oh, I'm not talking about subjects, Vicky. I'm talking about the numbers. We've been keeping track of how many bodies we process every day, every week, and number fluctuates, but it's never too much. 1 and 3 and 2 and 5, 1 and 1 and 2, 10. Let's look at the chart I left on your desk. You can see for yourself there's a pattern. Oh, well, it's at the beginning here. Okay. Where I need to go? I believe so. Incoming messages. This is about a few volunteers, Morley. Most of the test group is already gone. Subject 17 is nonverbal, but we had some luck using small amounts of the compound to coax him into the testing rooms. To be honest, some of the staff are starting to worry me too. It's not that the ghoul in disposal either. Weaver's convinced that the compound is getting into a ventilation system somehow. I caught her scrubbing her hands raw at the washing station. I tried reciting her safety protocols to her, but it hasn't seemed to help. Starting to think she might not be wrong. Pick 2 out of the deceased test subjects and whip up condolences letter. Something saccharine and noble. Feel free to invent the next of kin if they're not on record. Use cheap paper. Leave the letters on my desk. I'll dispose of them shortly. Outgoing. Notice. This notice is to inform all HIS staff that the testing associate Angus Roan is no longer a Spacer's Choice Pharmaceuticals employee, effective immediately. As a valued member of the Spacer's Choice family, I trust that you are all pulled together to shoulder Mr. Roan's responsibilities. That sucks. Dear Blakesley, the missing test subject has been found and apprehended. Apparently, he's gone into the testing department where he remained. I'm afraid nobody noticed for several hours. Hennessy had him doing paperwork. I think it's clear at this point that subject SC44B12 didn't get out on his own. As far as we could tell, he didn't have much of an escape plan. The door was simply unlocked for a short period of time during the night. In the meantime, we made it clear to security forces to that no further breaches will be tolerated. Could be another quest thing in here, and I don't think I found it yet. Maybe it's still up here. Visitation. Human Audit and Inquiry Facility, a dedicated research facility that houses considerable quantity of hazardous materials, machinery, and personnel. As such, no external visitors are to be permitted at any point or any time absent express written permission from HIA Testing Supervisor Marion Blakesley. Suspect a visitor does not have the appropriate credentials, please observe the following procedures. Remain calm. Notify nearby security personnel of your suspicions. Wait for security personnel and or equipment to finish disposing of the visitor. Complete an incident report. Per official guideline, remember to use Spacer's Choice approved formatting and language. At no point you should leave your workstation unattended. Leaving your workstation unattended will be considered the severe security breach and will result in a fine and or summary termination of your employment. Your supervisor has posted the following addendums. Right. That's the official shit. If we don't get the visitors, inform me at once if they're from another department. If it's Dr. Ambrose, don't get in her way, but log her every move. If it's Clarence mostly, keep him at reception. I'll come down in person, see this law given miracle myself. Jasper Lowe or anyone else from Chem turns up, let them stew at reception. I'll send Assistant Morley down eventually. Blakesley. HI is on lockdown until further notice. Do not let anyone in the facility until the escaped volunteer is located. I'm going to check the volunteer induction for any sign of our fugitive. If you receive any keycard, access notifications in the next 20 minutes, ignore them. And I don't think I have anything here to open it, do I? Another way up, right? Yes.
Yeah, there you are. It's off, right? I don't understand these contraptions.
Dr. Blakeslee, ma'am, I've come to say that it's time. I'm gonna do it.
Do what?
I'm gonna try for one of
You
the
think
jobs.
going at
Person
once?
is spending so much time watching us. Where will they find the time to plot their diabolical machinations that will spell our doom?
Can we punch this asshole in the face, Captain? Eventually?
Admin functions. Overrides at the manufacturer center lockdown. That is fine. Messages. Incoming. Been 3 weeks. Were they for the reports from HIA? Deliver them to me by the end of the day or deliver me your letter of resignation. I am done asking. Future, you will send me bi-weekly reports from HIA of the HIA's status. These reports will include the inventory of test subjects, which version of the Gorgon compound they have been administrative now frequently those administrations have occurred and who has been administered. To these reports, you will append a morality record. These records will include an accounting of the burn down rate of our current stock of volunteers and compound ampules, in addition to the thorough analysis of the injuries. I want to see the charts, Mari. Big effing charts with lots of little precious little numbers. Or you ask, bi-weekly means twice a week. You'll pretend I don't know what that means. Personalize and forward the following note to the families of the deceased volunteers. Take carbon copies and send them to Lucian at the usual address. Make certain he gets every single one. Your name. It is with regret that I write to inform the death of your relation. Name. They died peacefully, attended by their fellows. Please accept our sympathies in this difficult time. Though it may offer you a little comfort to know that your relation died in service of a better and more productive Halcyon. In accordance with the agreement, name, signed with Tartarus Corrections, a division of United Defense Logistics. Their terms of incarceration is now complete. Really? Outgoing. People are chatty. Good fellow. As many of the subjects still exhibit increasingly energies and compliance, the same euphoric response, but they're inevitably crash. Testing clearly suggests that Compound X's extreme and irreversible effects will be administered repeatedly over a long period of time. Several volunteers in the old SCO2 group are barely verbal. When they do speak, it is to beg for more compound. I find it hard to shine that up for you, Lawrence. So good, you'll beg for more. Don't you dare use that. We could dilute the compound or even ease out the schedule. We can mitigate some of the additive effects. Meeting some of the earlier test subjects at the compound might buy us time until Kim refines the formula. Need time, Lawrence. I need you to compile some of the test results from the past month. Pull a subset from the reports we forwarded to OCI if you like, so long as there are charts. Make sure the worst of the mortality reports are up front, will you? At the behest of the Office of Creativity Incubation, we are applying varying amounts of unknown solutions to the test subjects that are already mid-treatment. What organizational schema do you imagine would miraculously restore scientific rigor to this process? Stick to the current system. From Morley. Pick out 2 of the deceased test subjects and whip up condolence letters. Oh, we better that.
Look, I've seen some messy operating tables, but this is a first, and hopefully a last.
What they did here was inexcusable.
And pointless. What I'm stuck on is this. Spacer's Choice knew what Adrena Time would do, and they released it anyway.
No, I can't believe they did this.
I didn't think Spacer's Choice was capable of causing this much harm. Competently, I mean. I just wonder if that heiress isn't gonna collapse on her fainting couch when she gets that journal, whatever it holds.
Let's get back to finding the journal.
Yeah, there you are. Is this... It's off, right? I don't understand these contraptions.
Dr. Blakesley, ma'am, I've come to say that it's time. I'm gonna do it.
Do what?
I'm gonna try for one of the shuttles.
You little shit. You've lost your mind.
If I can just make it to the landing pad, I'll be free.
Be reasonable, Morley. The project is almost over. We'll be out of here by October.
Ma'am, it's January. You're recording, by the way.
Damn it!
Broken data pad. First step group should have been here a few hours. I suppose I could be catching up to sleep, but it's far more important to mark the occasion. I really think we can achieve something here. Every citizen of Halcyon wants to be of use deep down. If the compound can restore industry and work ethic, even the outlaws and miscreants, we won't need places like Tartarus anymore. Dissidents will be a thing of the past. Kim has sent over the first shipment of this mystery drug, and testing chambers are operational. Once we've proven out our methods, it will be much easier to convince OCI to invest a better. Alright, so this other quest. Is one of them still here? It is. That way. Through our skills, we are doing lockpicks. Open. 47 that way. Maybe. Hold on a second. hard to see.
I don't believe we've discussed the side effects, Dr. Ambrose.
The drug's not ready for release yet. The side effects are immaterial.
So it's dangerous. Perhaps it results in some thrilling mutations. Forearms, maybe? Or a second head?
Try delusion, paranoia, gastric bleeds, violence, and fatal insomnia. Shall I enumerate every way our volunteers have died? Suicide by automech, suicide by hanging, starvation.
Cut the recording, Georgie.
You sure, boss? I just put on a new cylinder. Stroke, spontaneous combustion, internal exsanguination.
Spontaneous combustion.
Just turn it off.
Easier way out of here. Oh. Perfect. All right. Well, we are going to end it here for tonight. A little bit after midnight. Yeah, we'll continue with Gorgon here. But right now, I gotta go. So we'll continue. I don't know. We got one more piece for this quest. And like they both might be over here. That's where we gotta go. Alright, well, we're gonna end it here for tonight. I appreciate everybody for spending some time here. If you did enjoy this, please give me that thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe. I'll see y'all next time.